Hey, it's new release day. We're bringing you some cool new board games and expansions for your old favorites for the week of August 19th, 2019. There are 3 new games being released under the Brainwaves title from Cosmos Games. These are educational memory games. Each one has different gameplay. There's the Astute Goose, the Wise Whale, and the Brilliant Boar. So maybe something good for younger gamers or people who want to exercise their minds. The Captain is Dead has a brand new standalone game called Dangerous Planet. This is a co-op experience where you're trying to survive as a spaceship crew, but in this new title, you are on a planet. You're actually on an away mission dealing with aliens, and it is standalone, so you don't need the other titles to play it. Foodies is a new game that takes place in a food court. Everyone is the manager of a restaurant, and you're trying to collect different foods that you can sell and get special chefs that can make them and get more points than everyone else by having the best restaurant you can. Imperial Settlers Empires of the North is a sequel to the original Imperial Settlers. Some similar gameplay. This one has 6 brand new factions that you can play as, and it includes a complete new set of cards, some new rules. You can go sailing now. If you liked Imperial Settlers, this may be one you want to check out. Jumanji Flux is also releasing. That's the latest new edition of Flux. This one includes cards from both the original Jumanji and the new Jumanji films with characters and quotes from that story. So you can play that and see if it comes to life and wreaks havoc.
Going back to Portal Games, we have Monolith Arena Academics. This is a new army pack for the game. This new group, while it lacks in units to use, it makes up for in tricks to slow down your opponents and upgrades to strengthen your own forces. The North Sea Epilogues, a role-playing game, was a Kickstarter that is a role-playing game based on the very popular series of Raiders of the North Sea, where it's actually designed from Renegade Game Studios to roll less dice, so much so that the GM doesn't even roll any dice. It's much more story-focused and even suggests that all the players try to integrate their own ideas and thoughts to really make a collaborative story. Grey Fox Games is releasing Run, Fight, or Die Reloaded. This is actually a re-release of one of their old titles, Run, Fight, or Die, which was a zombie fighting game. It was a Kickstarter. It hasn't seen a release in a long time, so this seems to be a chance for you to pick up if you missed out on it all those years ago. Shadow of Brimstone from Flying Frog Games has 2 new creature expansion packs. This is actually for the Forbidden Fortress line, which is more of a Japanese-themed game. We have the Yuragumo Spider Queen XL Enemy Pack, as well as the Shadow Clan Deluxe Enemy Pack. And we're going to end this off with the Towers Arcanos, which is actually a Kickstarter of ours a ways back. It is a dice drafting game where you actually draft the dice to build these towers, sometimes using your own apprentice meeples to hold up the towers instead, in order to make these large towers get abilities and prove you are the greatest magician in the world.
So Empires of the North, that's a big new one that we've had a chance to play a little bit of. Maybe you heard us talking about it on our Patreon podcast, but that's definitely exciting.
I think one of the interesting things we should point out that you said 6 factions, but if you think Imperial Settlers, you're like, oh, that's 6 countries. That's not actually the case. Each country or civilization has 2 different factions, which I think is interesting because if there's expansions, that means like if they add Egypt back in for this one, that doesn't mean one deck. There could be different Egypt decks that sort of, while they maybe use gold, could play very differently from each other.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool thing. If someone really likes a certain place, you don't have to, 2 people could play as them if they want to. Captain is Dead, we haven't played the second one, but the first one we really liked. I don't know if the later 2 stand up to that one as much, but that one was a lot of fun. I'm very interested in the North Sea role-playing game.
Yeah, that was actually a Kickstarter, and I missed that completely somehow.
Yeah, it's always, you don't see that many translations from board game to RPG. I guess there's probably a few, but sometimes you see an RPG to board, like there's Legends of the Five Rings became an LCG, but also that's based on another thing. So, but it's cool that they're doing that, and I'm very interested to see what they do with that. Sentinels of the Multiverse, that's another example you could use.
I remember reading that, and when I saw Jim didn't read dice, I just imagined him like, That failed. Why? Because I said so.
That's how I play. I never roll dice. You don't know what I'm doing behind that screen. Some cool stuff. Foodies is also a little interesting. That's from Come On. So, big publisher, big release, but I don't feel like they have given it that much hype. I don't think it was at Gen Con even.
Well, first of all, does it have a lot of minis?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, that's your reason why. And second, knowing the food courts we go to, how many of them do you think actually have star chefs and aren't just a copy and paste from whatever?
I will say the food court in that game seems very optimistic and idealized compared to real life.
As long as I can get my Orange Julius.
I hope you can. So let us know what you're looking at this week. Are you a Run Fight or Die fan and maybe getting the new version, or you added more to your Shadows of Brimstone collection? I don't know. Talk to us in those comments down below. Also, you have 1 day left or so to enter our Keyforge competition.
Gotta go quickly.
Yeah, check out rollforcrit.com/contest. We'll have a link in the description. So if you want to win some Keyforge stuff, it's really easy. You have a pretty good chance. You just enter in some stuff. It's free. You could win.
Just like that.
Yeah, go ahead and do it. Until next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Will.
This has been Roll for Crit.
If you love board game content, do us a favor, like and subscribe, and support us on Patreon.
Keep watching our content to guarantee you'll top deck a good video.